We are in for a history-making, nerve-shredding final day in the EFL Championship. Let's take a look ahead. And history's guaranteed to be made in the title race because someone is going to score a minimum of 97 points and not win the championship title. We could have even better history than that. We could have two teams in the same season scoring 100 points. Utterly unprecedented. Where is it going to go now? Burnley home to Millwall. They're pushing for the playoffs. Leeds away to already relegated Plymouth. Both sides very relaxed. Both sides have been absolutely brilliant all season and are both in fine form. All I'm seeing is green W's on that league table there, just out of shot. Let me know. How is it going to play out? I know football fans will split hairs over who's first and who's second. But if it is 100 each and Leeds winning it on goal difference, then that is two outstanding teams, outstanding achievements. In my egalitarian brain here, let's share it around. Burnley won the title and scored 100 last time, more than 100. They were down under company, didn't they? Maybe it's Leeds' turn, but let's be honest, whoever gets it thoroughly deserves it. Both sides utterly brilliant and consistent to be on that points number. Let me know. Where is it going? Who's going to be the champions? Are we going to get the double 100? My God, where do you start with the playoffs? Basically, we've got 5 teams there. Bristol City, Coventry, Millwall, Blackburn and Borough, who could all miss out or who could all finish in 5th place. And you would want 5th rather than 6th, bearing in mind there's the potential for 6th, the 3rd in the playoffs. Sheffield United could have 92, and whoever finishes 6th could have 66. Could be a 26-point gap between 3rd and 6th. That would really irk the I hate the playoffs people if that 6th place team went and won that semi-final. But history says they're very unlikely to, especially with a 26-point gap. But we'll cross the playoff bridge when we know who the hell is in there. And let's be honest, it's a little bit beggars can't be choosers, isn't it? You know, I'm sure every team there would take either 5th or 6th just to be in there. Let's start with Bristol City. It's fairly straightforward for Bristol City. They're the only ones really where it's like, you know, win and you're in, basically. We could get something extraordinary stopping Coventry. But for Bristol City, if they were to go 2 up quickly, get the game sorted, they are guaranteed to be in the playoffs. They do play Preston, and we're going to talk about that fixture in the relegation battle also. So Bristol City, destiny in hands at home. Just get a couple of goals up, win the game. And not only are they guaranteed to be in there, they're guaranteed 5th as well because they hold the higher ground. Get your thoughts in. Very nervous Bristol City fans. No doubt Preston have got a lot to play for. Coventry are probably almost hoping that goes the other way. Preston very quickly get 2 goals up. And Coventry also get 2 goals up. And then they can go ahead and take 5th place. Like we've said, it's difficult with Coventry and Millwall imagining that the tie is going to work in Millwall's favour. It's probably not because of the 4 goals difference. Can you see a 4-goal swing, especially given Coventry are at home and Millwall are going away to a potential 100 points winning the greatest defensive team in Championship history? If Millwall do it, you're not seeing them doing it with a massive goal difference swing as well. So the real fly in the ointment for Coventry is they play Middlesbrough. So there is no margin for error here because we do sometimes see teams mess it up on the day and it still works out all right. That is not going to happen for Coventry because if they mess it up on the day and lose to Middlesbrough, they are definitely not in the playoffs because Middlesbrough obviously would overtake them and take their spot. Someone else may take that spot above them, but Coventry cannot lose. So we have got a couple of definitives there with 5th and 6th. If Bristol City win, they're definitely finishing 5th. If Coventry lose, they are not in the playoffs. And who takes that spot? We can then discuss even further. Millwall, yeah, they need to win, don't they? I know you can argue the draw a little bit. Say if Millwall were to draw and Preston were to win 5-0 against Bristol City, it's unlikely they could then overtake Bristol City on goal difference. Remember, if Millwall draw, to overtake Coventry is a bit of an irrelevance, because then that would mean Middlesbrough are winning and the goal difference is even worse, which is +10. So look, your head will be starting to spin, no doubt. Basically, Millwall could well miss out on goal difference, which would be a massive shame. If they draw, it's going to be really hard to even draw at Burnley, though, isn't it, given they're playing for the title and the 100 points. So what I'm saying is there's teams below Millwall where it's almost more likely that they get in than Millwall get in. Let's say this about the Lions. If they do get in from this position with an away game and a head-to-head away game at Burnley and a head-to-head between two teams either side of them, which makes it really complex, take a bow. Standing ovation for Millwall if they do it. Blackburn is really, really fascinating because they have a better goal difference than Bristol City and Coventry. So you start to look at it. Look, Blackburn could draw their way in, could they? No, they couldn't, because they'd be on 66, and again, that would require Coventry to lose to Middlesbrough, who'd then be on 67. So Blackburn need to win, and a couple of favours. But look, it gets very interesting. If you do stick that Blackburn win in, then they would finish above Bristol City if Bristol City draw. They would finish above Middlesbrough, even if Middlesbrough win. The issue for Blackburn, of course, is they could go and win at Sheffield United. And will Sheffield United be resting players? I don't know. Sheffield United were pretty steady away at Stoke, where they could have rested players in the last round. But they could still do it. They're in decent form, Blackburn. They're in very good form, actually. 4 wins in a row. Sheffield United are very good. But it's not beyond the realms of possibility. And a win probably gets them in, doesn't it? Someone may well fold ahead of them. And 68, I mean, it's a crazy low total, isn't it? I think we've got someone in League 2, 78, or potentially missing out, or is that League 1? Maybe that's League 1. Smarten me up in the comments. But yeah, we've just had no mid-table in the Championship this season, and lots of points going in at the bottom, masses at the top, and here's the low tide. I mean, top 3 basically, but here's the low tide in the playoffs. Let me know your thoughts on Blackburn. They could finish 5th with a win. Bristol City not winning. Say Coventry, well, it doesn't really matter as long as Coventry don't win. That would give them 5th. And then a lot of this is predicated on the assumption that Burnley are going to not lose at home to Millwall. You never know. What happens if we get a red card for a Burnley player, you know, say it's Esteve or Trafford even, 2 minutes into that game, then all business is about to pick up. That leaves us with Middlesbrough, and they're left with the most snookers, as the great Sam Parkin would say. They need to win to take them to 67, so could finish 5th. They would then need massive favours. They would need Bristol City to lose to Preston to leave them tied up, wouldn't they? They would need a favour from Burnley. Well, in fact, the draw would be all right. They would only need Millwall to not win and Blackburn to not win in that case. But all bets are off if Borough don't win. They'll be stranded at 65. Wow. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how your nerves are holding up. There's a few definitives in there, isn't it? Middlesbrough and Blackburn definitely need to win. Millwall probably need to win, given the unlikeliness of Preston absolutely hammering Bristol City. Coventry are obviously in with a win, aren't they? And Bristol City can guarantee 5th with a win. So we will see what happens. And you know, the best thing that can happen, I know fans of these teams won't appreciate me saying it, but wouldn't it be great if we just got early goals against the teams in 5th and 6th, and maybe for the teams in 7th, 8th and 9th. Let's hope it's not the boring one where 10 minutes in, Bristol City are 3 up, Coventry are 3 up, and we can all go home, or we can concentrate on the relegation zone, which I'm about to get to. But honestly, I feel so privileged to say this. We've been doing the channel for years and years now, focusing in the main on the EFL. And let me tell you from the bottom of my heart how proud I am to say this video is brought to you in association with the EFL. How about that, guys? Absolutely incredible. I can't believe it from, when I started out making content about the EFL that I'd actually be partnering with them. But I am. It's not a fantasy, it's Fantasy EFL that we're talking about. The EFL have been running the Fantasy EFL all season, but you can see on the logo there, it is Fantasy EFL Playoffs that we want you to sign up for and go and play. There's a link, the first line of the description there. Click that link. Not only will it send you to Fantasy EFL website, it'll also tell them that I sent you. That would mean a lot to me as well. If you've already been playing Fantasy EFL, you just click on that and it will roll you straight through. And you'll be able to create your team, as you can see there, from the 5th of May. So get yourself signed up now, and then from the 5th of May, I think it'll be sort of middle of the daytime, you'll be able to go and pick your team. We'll go through all the rules and whatnot when I go ahead and pick my teams, because you can play against me in the both semi-final legs. You can pick a new team and the finals as well. And we will be having a Benjamin Bloom Football Channel League, which, can you beat me? Probably, but can you top that league? I'd love to see who comes out on top. And never mind my league. If you top the real league, check this stuff out. Look at that. So you can win hospitality tickets on the opening day. I assume you'll pick your club or wherever the best opening day matches across the EFL. Look at that. 1 year Now TV subscription as well, where you can find all of those EFL games that we do watch. Imagine that. Get your Now TV sorted, get that sorted, have the watch along on the other channel, feet up, nice drink, happy days. You'll also get a home and away shirt for your club. Remember, they are the prizes for the main leagues, not for the Benjamin Bloom Channel League. So please do go ahead, click the link in the description down there and get signed up, and then we can get you picking your teams early next week. And let me just say it one more time for my own ego. I am chuffed as bits to be partnering with the EFL for this video. How about that? And how about this goddamn, excuse my language, relegation battle? Here's a spoiler alert. Look at my notes. I've literally written too complex down there. I would have just ended up with an entire page and the video would have been 30 minutes long. I mean, wow. So basically, we're going to ignore Cardiff and Plymouth, but any one of those 5 teams, Stoke, Derby, Preston, Luton and Hull, could finish 22nd. So in some ways, it's less complicated than the playoffs because we're talking about one position and we're talking about 5 teams. So it's almost a case of why don't we work upwards and say, what would it take for X team to finish in 22nd position? So for Hull, it's fairly simplistic. If they lose to Pompey, they're down. It does get interesting if they draw, though, because you have then got 3 teams tied on 49 points. And if all of those 3 teams were to lose and Hull were to draw, and I mean, look at Preston's goal difference. All it would take is for Preston to lose by 1 and Hull to draw, and they will finish on 49, both with a -10 goal difference. My math brain is already ticking over. I hope what happens on Saturday is that one of these is sorted at half-time, playoffs or relegation. I can just do the maths on the other one for the remainder of the game. I must suspect it's going to be relegation that goes the difference. But yeah, Hull just go and win the game at Pompey. In terms of Luton, again, all bets are off if Hull lose. So Luton can do what they like. They can lose 7-0. If Hull lose, they will stay in the Championship. Luton go away to West Brom. It's an all right fixture, isn't it? Given that West Brom have just kind of parted company with Tony Moran. There's a bit of a vacuum of power and a kind of sense of a club in transition before the season finishes. You would think if Luton got themselves a point, that means their goal difference is not good, granted. But if Luton did draw, it would then take Hull to win, and Preston to draw, and Derby to draw for them to go down. So Luton have just got to score themselves something. Obviously, if Luton win, they are safe. Preston is fascinating because Preston play a team in Bristol City who have got great skin in the game. Bristol City are in 5th, as we just covered them in the playoff race, and are not going to want to lose and mess it up. So, I don't know. Can you rule out the Preston win? Of course you can't. It's the championship as well. But for Preston to drop, they would need, or we would need, Hull to win. Actually, no, we don't. A Hull draw would do okay because of the goal difference. One superior. Obviously, a Preston defeat. And then you would need a Luton draw. And, well, I mean, you could still have a big Derby defeat and Preston. So if Preston lost by 3 goals fewer than Derby lost by, i.e., I don't know, Preston lose 1-0 and Derby lose 5-0, then that could still keep Preston safe. But, yeah, it looks like Preston losing means Derby will finish above them. So it's a bit iffy for Preston, especially given their opponent. And then we've got another head-to-head. Like Coventry and Middlesbrough, 2 teams involved, but these 2 teams are next to each other in the table. Stoke are obviously the odds-on favourites to survive. But let me do what I have been doing. So for Derby to drop, you would need... Look, Hull drawing doesn't work for Derby to drop, does it? Because of the goal difference. Unless Derby really lost heavily by more than 2 goals, basically. But you kind of need a Hull win. Goal difference really doesn't work in terms of the other 2. So, I know I mentioned it a minute ago, Preston and Derby. But Luton definitely needs something. And Preston probably needs something unless Derby lose heavily at home to Stoke. Which, given who Derby's manager is, if they're going to lose, I don't think they're going to lose heavily. And I know who Stoke's manager is as well. It feels like a tight, low-margin game. For Stoke to go down, I mean, it would be crazy. We need Hull to win to go to 51. We need Luton to win to go to 52. We need Preston to win at Bristol City to go to 52. The goal difference is silly, isn't it? And Derby would need to beat Stoke themselves. So, no, I'm wrong about that. Sorry, I'll take that back. If Preston were to draw, they would finish above on goal difference, wouldn't they? Sorry, I made a mistake on the Preston one. There are lots of numbers flying about. But basically, it's highly unlikely Stoke will go down because that requires the perfect or imperfect, as you would see as a Stoke fan, storm of Hull win, Luton win, Preston draw, and Derby win. So all the results, basically, every other one of the 3 games involved. And the game that Stoke are in, obviously, being Derby, and it's 4 results, essentially, have to go against them. So we will see. I've floated it out there. It's a great views on TikTok, actually, the idea that if Stoke and Derby are a level, they can probably have a look around the 60, 70 minute mark and see what else is going on. But when I did put that up, all the Birmingham fans from last season rightly said, Ben, don't rely on, anyone else doing anything. Just win your game, because last season, everybody won and Birmingham did get relegated on 50 points. Birmingham won themselves, of course. Get in the comments. I want to hear from you, Stoke fans, Derby fans, Preston fans, Luton fans, Hull fans. And of course, we haven't mentioned Plymouth and Cardiff. Plymouth could finish above Hull, so it's not even just 22nd, but they are playing champions-elect Leeds United. Wow, wow, wow. Get involved in the comments. We will be watching along. I don't know whether we'll plug it as just a super stream or a specific game. We might flip between channels, let's just say, on Saturday. That is going to be absolute carnage. I cannot wait. Please get involved. EFL Fantasy. Get in and sign up now. You can pick your team from Monday the 5th. Link in the description. And we will pop up there what myself and Sam Parkin think is going to happen. We did our predictions yesterday. Go on, get some skin in the game. Go and do yours. I cannot bloody wait for round 46 in the EFL Championship. It's coming up.